Thanks so much for joining us today. Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
My name's Haley. We're both from Long and Scott Farms and Mount Dora, and we both worked there for about 12 years now. This is Kirsten.
Hi.
When was the Long and Scott Farms first founded, and who founded it?
My grandfather, Frank Scott, moved down here in 1963. A friend of his talked him into coming down here and starting the farm. And they started with, what was it, like
500 acres?
Yeah, I think it was about 500 acres. They started farming in 1963. Now we're up to about 900.
Yeah.
So it's grown.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And where did they come from?
From Virginia.
Okay.
From the eastern shore of Virginia, where they farmed up there as well. So, but down here in Florida, it's different. You can have 2 seasons, whereas up there you can only have 1 because of the weather. So we're able to have a spring season and a fall season.
Is it more difficult to do farming here because we don't have a harsh winter that kills all of the harmful bugs? So how does that work?
I'm not really sure what it's like to grow in Virginia. I've only ever worked on a farm here in Florida. But I think it just depends on the crops that you're growing. You just have to find the ones that you can handle with the pests that
Florida
are here.
definitely has a lot of pests.
It does. You know, we'd love to grow apples because, you know, fall is big apples and pumpkins, but the insect pressure is too much to grow that kind of stuff. And the apples need a cold snap, so.
Yeah, it really just depends on what you're growing. But we're known, of course, for the Zelwood sweet corn and our cucumbers, so we're able to do a spring season and a fall season. We do have winter crops as well that some other places can't grow because their winters are too harsh, such as like cabbage, greens, things like that.
So what are all the crops that you grow on your farm?
We grow, of course, the Zelwood sweet corn, Kirby cucumbers, which are for pickling. We'll grow sweet onions, red onions, cabbage, kale, collard greens. We will do strawberries from time to time. Just we'll grow stuff specifically for the market.
Yeah,
as
green
well.
beans, okra, peas.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
The conch
so
peas, black-eyed peas.
What about Seminole pumpkin?
we bring all of our pumpkins in just because we've tried to grow them before, but they just don't, just in Florida, they don't get the size or the color. They almost end up like a light orange, which is kind of cool, but not what people are used to. So we bring our pumpkins in from North Carolina for our market every year.
We have grown the Seminole pumpkins before, but it's just not the traditional pumpkin that everybody's looking for.
Right.
Oh, so it's not popular
It may be, but not
to cook with, or because everyone's probably looking for the Halloween pumpkin.
Right.
Yes,
they want like
the
a
big pumpkins.
Yeah, like a bright orange.
Jack-o'-lanterns.
Yeah, but they can carve.
They could carve rather than cook with.
Right. Yeah.
We've never
So
grown it on a
good.
large scale.
Yeah, maybe we should try it again.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I love eating pumpkin.
Yeah.
Like, pumpkin soup. And
Oh,
like you
yeah.
can chop up pumpkin. My husband is the cook, really. But he chops up the pumpkin or squash, whatever it is, and he puts it in the beans. And it's really good.
Yeah, we do get like pie pumpkins, like the smaller sugar pumpkins that a lot of people use for cooking. But again, we bring all that in. We just had better luck with that than trying to grow it ourselves.
Yes.
So what products do you provide to the public? Do you also have maybe a nursery or other products that people could come and pick up that for their farms or their gardens?
We kind of have 2 different parts of the farm. We have like the commercial wholesale side, which we sell to like our, by the truckload to customers all over the United States, really. And then we have the retail side, which is our little market that we have, and we have a corn maze, a fall festival. So every year that changes. We've recently just rebranded to be, that part of it is known as Great Scott Farms. And so we do like events, sunflowers, U-picks, things like that. So to get the local community involved and let them come out and be a part of the farm.
And of course, in our market, they can also purchase the products that we grow on our farm. And we do sell it wholesale to smaller, so local restaurants, some local grocery stores do purchase our products as well.
What are the U-Pick products that you have?
This year, we're going to start with, we have in the past, but it's been a while. We're going to grow strawberries again. And then we also do, in the spring, we do flower U-Picks. So we'll do like sunflowers, zinnias, things like that.
Tell us about some of the events that you do, the festivals.
In the spring, we do like a big, where we plant our maize. It's a 7-acre plot. And we plant most of that in sunflowers, and we cut paths through that so that you can kind of walk through the sunflowers. We also do a Wine Your Way Out event where we partner with local wineries and we will put stations throughout the sunflower maze, and you have to go out and find them to try different samples of the wine. And then, of course, you pick flowers, and we usually have like craft vendors, and depending on what the event is in the spring.
Food vendors.
Food vendors, yeah. And then in the fall, we do our fall festival where we bring in pumpkins. We grow like decorative corn stalks, Indian corn, hay, all that to decorate for fall. And then we have our 7-acre corn maze, which the theme for that changes every year. And kind of the same thing. We bring in food vendors, craft vendors, and just do different events. During the fall, we also have night mazes throughout October that are usually themed. We'll do like a Halloween one. There's a
glow night, country night, noche latina, all kinds of different themes. It's a lot of fun. It's much cooler at night.
So yeah, that's for the fall. And then for the UPIC, this will be our first year kind of getting back into the UPIC again. So that will start sometime in December is usually when strawberries come into season.
Your farm started doing agritourism. Can you tell us a little bit about what that means?
Yeah, so back in the area where we're at was known for farming back throughout the 80s, 90s, probably even earlier before I was born. But it was a big farming community, and the state bought out a lot of the farms. They were muck bottom farms in the 90s, so we were the only one left. And we were able to stay because we're a sand bottom farm, but then a lot of people didn't know we were there. We also couldn't get the trucks to come out to us, and it was just, we just needed to educate people that we were still there. So my parents went to this farming conference, and they got this great idea to put in a corn maze. So we started our first corn maze that year, and we've kind of added on to our market a little bit more every year. And the corn maze has like an educational game in it, depending on what the theme is. So we get a lot of field trips out, a lot of kids. It's kind of, so we can teach them where their food comes from and about whatever the theme is for that year.
We do farm tours as well. So they'll get on a tractor-pulled wagon and go around the farm, and it tells you a little bit about us, our history, what we do, what we grow.
They get to see it growing in the field.
Yes, it's really neat. And the farmer will go out there and, if we're planting cabbage, then he'll have a cabbage plant transplant and show them that. Just, so the kids know that the food isn't grown in the grocery store.
So that's kind of why we started the agritourism part, just to bring people out. So, and we've been doing it for 20 years now, so it's gone well.
And why do you feel it's important for the community to support our local farmers?
So you know where your food comes from, first of all, what you're eating, where it comes from, who grows it, how fresh it is. Most of the time in the grocery store, it's like a shelf life. The average, it's 2 weeks old at that point already. It's got to go from wherever it's grown through a distribution center, then to the grocery store. At least if you're going to the farm, you're getting it straight from the farm. And also, again, just so kids know more, to educate the public where their food comes from, how it grows, what a farm is.
We need more farmers.
Yeah.
And where can the viewers go to learn more?
They can go to our website,
Yes, our website.
longandscottfarms.com.
We have a great Facebook page as well.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you would like to share?
We just appreciate you letting us be here and helping us spread the word. So.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you're enjoying this show, please subscribe to our channel and follow our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter accounts.